Hello, Steeler Nation. Welcome to your Steeler Nation Vidcast, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises and part of the Big Play podcast network over at YouTube. We've got a lot to talk about today. Mike Tomlin had the press conference going off, and the big thing today, injuries. The injury situation is kind of good and bad. We got some pluses and minuses. Coach Tomlin says he expects T.J. Watt, Joe Haden, Loudermilk, and J.C. Hassenauer to come back and practice this week, which is all good news. The bad news, of course, Steelers look like they probably might be losing Eric Ebron for the season, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because he really was playing a role that was not tight end. He was coming in and he was playing Juju Smith-Schuster's big tight end role, big slot role. So coming into the big slot area, didn't have to block anymore. It's fine. We don't want you to block, Eric. You're a good receiver. We don't want you to block. Go out there and catch passes for us. And finally starting to work his way back healthy. Came back in, but unfortunately got hurt again. And that's just the Steelers' luck with these free agent tight ends that they bring in. High quality athletes always getting hurt. It sucks. Good thing that we drafted Pat Freiermuth because we'd be screwed in the tight end position this year. It's great that we have Gentry starting to develop into a decent blocking tight end with some downfield capabilities. Good player, but he can't carry the team. His ceiling seems to be like Jesse, the outlaw Jesse Jones that we had early before. But I love Pat Freiermuth, and I can't be upset for that. We did get some COVID news back and some injury reserve news back. Don't know if Carlos Davis is going to be activated yet this week. He has to be activated by 12/9. Or that's if he's not rostered by 12/9, he reverts back to injured reserve. He's lost for the year, but because he's still in that 21-day window from being activated. Looks like they activated first on the 18th of November. The other news we have on COVID, Ben Roethlisberger obviously back to play. That was awesome. We just lost Ray McLeod. Looks like probably for this week's game. I don't know if he's vaccinated or unvaccinated. I do think that Minkah Fitzpatrick was unvaccinated. He was immediately ruled out of the game on Monday when he came down with COVID last week. It will show if he shows up to practice Thursday or Friday this week. That's his 10-day window. Means he was unvaccinated. So fortunately, he didn't pick it up later in the week. Otherwise, he would have ran the risk of missing 2 games. Fortunately, only missed 1. They are high on him being able to return this week. And honestly, that's how we lost this Chargers game, guys. That's how we lost it. We got 2 All-Pros. We have 3 All-Pros at all 3 levels. We got Cam Hayward, who played and balled his butt off. T.J. Watt, All-Pro, missed the game. Minkah Fitzpatrick, All-Pro, missed the game. 2 of your 3 All-Pros are out. And I looked at the roster. We only had 5 starters playing in that game. 5 complete starters. You had Cam Hayward, you had Highsmith, Bush, and Schobert in the linebacker area. And then who did you only have? Only 1 starter in the secondary. That was Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton balled too. 10 tackles, got an interception, tackle for a loss. That's what we need out of Cam. Cam picked up his game. Unfortunately, we had for him to come up and play that slot role. They had Trey Norwood going back to free safety, playing that spot for Minkah Fitzpatrick, played every snap. Kudos to you, Trey Norwood, except for that last play of the game, which you screwed up on it. But he's a rookie, guys. We got to take the good with the bad with the rookies. But he's a good player. He can play slot. He can play edge. He can play free safety. So now we know he can play 3 spots on this defense and play them well. He's not like Sean Davis. We'll start you at slot corner. Nope. All right, we'll move you back to safety. Nope. Sean Davis didn't work out for us, guys. He was a good special teams player. Good depth in the secondary, but guy just was not a starter, and unfortunately had high hopes for the guy. Seemed to be a versatile piece when he played at University of Maryland. Unfortunately, that never transitioned in the pros. And guys, this is your Vidcast, Steeler Nation. This is live going on right now. You got any questions? Always up for chatting. I know we got some people coming in now. Colton, yes, sir. G, thank you, Colton. Always good to talk to you. Thank you, Colton, too, for joining us on the Steeler Nation Colorcast Mondays at 7 o'clock. If you have an iPhone, if you have an iPad, You want to get on something cool, you get to jump on and talk with us. Ask us questions directly like it's a radio station. Awesome stuff. Download the Colorcast app. You iPhone people, you're always saying that the Apple's better than Android. Show me. Show me, iPhone people. Download the Colorcast app. Join us Mondays at 7 when we get good guests on there. We get good giveaways on there as well. I'll see you there. Couple other things that I wanted to talk about as well. Really, really funny point from the Mike Tomlin presser. And I don't know if you guys watch the presser or not, but I'm down after a loss. And Mike Tomlin's got a way of just making me feel better after a loss, man. I know why the players think they want to run through walls for this guy, because he's so singularly focused on the next team, not making excuses for past games, taking responsibility, but knowing they can build on things. Guys, our offense scored 30 damn points, nearly scored 30 points in a quarter, 27 points in the fourth quarter. It sucks to lose a game like that, but there's no way we're losing that game. If you got Haden, TJ, and Minkah playing, we destroy Chargers. Can't wait to see them in the playoffs. We're going to kick their butts if we see that team in the playoffs. We got Haden back. We got Minkah back. You got Cam Sutton back to play in his edge spot, throwing Norwood back down in the slot so he doesn't have to play free safety. That is the strength of the team. Doing a lot better. Getting Loudermilk back. You got Coach talking up Loudermilk, saying he's been getting snaps have been going up, making me think he might start supplanting Wormley over on the left side. That would be huge. That almost makes it like, do we even need Tuitt back if Loudermilk's going to start making these plays for us, as opposed to our part-time player in Tuitt that we love? Love to see him on the field when he's out there. He's a difference maker. Problem is he's never on the field. That's a problem with Tuitt. Loudermilk's a tough kid. So had that groin injury. Everybody's getting groin injuries. Good thing is you can come back from a groin. But here's the funny thing that Tomlin stated about the game. He's like, yeah, sure, we needed to be playing Canadian football to stop Herbert. If we had 7 in coverage and 5 rushing, being 12 people, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen south of the border. So it was a really funny thing that he kind of threw in there. Canadian football being needed to stop that extra person on the field being able to help out in coverage, because we really weren't planning on Herbert to run. There's no stats on him being a running quarterback. He saw us in man. Like I said, only 5 total starters out of 11. 6 weren't. People weren't playing their gaps. People weren't playing their roles. A lot of mistakes happen when you get a lot of people on the field that don't know what they're doing and don't have the experience that our starters do, especially those all-world athletes, TJ, Minkah, Haden. You get those guys on the field. Those guys don't make mental errors at all. At all. And we win those games. We don't lose those games. We win those games. So, unfortunately, we got to live with that. A couple other roster moves happened for this game. We elevated Kevin Rader. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, we could have elevated a wide receiver since Eric Ebron wasn't playing tight end anymore. He was playing big slot. But Rader's a great special teams player. He's going to be back out there on special teams for us. So that's going to be fun to see. He was great in previous years, and he has the want to. He plays hard. He's an excellent blocker. Not really a great receiver down the field, but he can catch passes. He has a touchdown in preseason. I remember when Scotland Williams, the old UK player that we had in the developmental from the NFL Europe, getting that extra player on the practice squad. He didn't develop. He got hurt right before that preseason game. That was the last time we saw him. Christian Scott Williamson. That's right. That's his name. Going off the top of my head. And he was a monster guy too. Another 6'9" rugby player. But we got a 6'9" Gentry out there now. So Gentry the Sentry out there standing tall for the Steelers. Just made that up. Gentry the Sentry. That's his new nickname, guys. Keep it going, Steeler Nation. But yeah, then Ray's on the COVID list. Since we put Ray on the COVID list, that's how we could elevate Kevin Rader. Looks like we're probably going to get an extra slot with, it looks like Ebron's going on injured reserve. He hurt his knee, sent out a tweet. It doesn't look like it's going to be positive. And unfortunately, this late in the season with a knee injury, it sounds like he's trying to get a second opinion. But if he needs surgery, he's done for the year. Sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Another free agent tight end that the Steelers bring in. That's a great receiver. losing him out on injuries. And he really helped us out more with Juju being out as opposed to being a tight end. Pat Freiermuth is helping us out for being a number one tight end, and he is our number one tight end. But hopefully Raider can help us out there as well and get some 3 tight end sets where we can officially block and receive with all 3 of those tight ends. So that'll be interesting. Something that we talked about on the Color Cast last night, we were like, well, what kind of guards? We need a guard. We knew J.C. Hassenauer got hurt. For some reason, they're not playing B.J. Finney at guard, which is, I don't understand why you're putting Haig back in there, who's a tackle. Sure, I mean, it's great that he can play every position on the line except for center, but J.C. Hassenauer is our only starting backup center. We lost J.C. We don't have a backup center. Anything happens to Green, what are you going to do for snaps? Bring in Harrison and throw it over the quarterback's head every play? Nope, Harrison's off the team. Bring in Kunitz, the long snapper? I don't know. I don't know who the hell the backup snapper is, but they got to get their butts kicked if J.C. Hassenauer wasn't able to do that. Well, you put in B.J. Finney, honestly. B.J. Finney used to be the number one backup swing guard. Don't know why they weren't using him. They didn't say why. I know he's injured a few weeks ago, but his back seems to be doing fine now. Don't know. And he was inactive for that game 2 weeks ago. But I don't know what they're thinking. But they went out and they picked up another guard. And it was a guard that we were talking about on the Color Cast last night, Rashad Coward. He's a free agent. Jacksonville let him go in August, didn't pick him back up for the practice squad. He was on our preseason practice squad, joined us on the podcast in the offseason, in training camp, stated he can be a backup left guard, he can be a backup right guard, and he can be a backup right tackle. So those are the 3 positions that Coward can help us out. And he did pretty well in the preseason. I was surprised he didn't make the roster. I thought he was going to make it over Haig, but Haig beat him out. Now we have him back in the fold. He understands the offense. He knows the offense. It'll be a little easier, I think, to add to the mix. Starter capable as well. Big starter over there in Chicago. So, and I think he has more starts than Hassenauer and Finney combined. So it'll be fun to see him come back. And I think he's probably going to be active for this game, even though he's on the practice squad. We're going to probably protect him, and he'll go up and he'll be active for the game, just strictly from the practice squad, just so we don't have to add him to the roster yet. Also signed former Green Bay tight end, Jace Sternberner. Don't know the guy. Don't know how great he is. But a couple people were like, "Oh, we're going to utilize him and have him out here doing some more stuff for him." I'm not sure. I'll look up his stats here quickly as I'm talking to make it. And I've got a computer in front of me, so it makes it seem like I'm a lot smarter than I am. But I'm not going to lie. I'm looking up Jason's stats as we're at right now. 1 game started in 2 years, 6 games in his rookie year with 1 start, 1 target, no catches. His first year. Second year in 2020, 12 games played, no starts, 12 receptions for 114 yards, 1 touchdown. He's a guy. He's a body. It doesn't sound like he's anything better than what we already have. I don't know how good of a blocker he is. Let's check out his snap counts if they're on here, because that's the interesting aspect. If they're on, and they are on air, 202 offensive snaps. So it sounds like he can be a run blocker. You don't get over 100 snaps unless you're in there contributing as a second or third string tight end in the running game. So that's a good point. So yeah, we can use him as a depth blocker, but right now, Rader's a good blocker. Raiders shown it in preseason the last few years. He was rostered 1 year at the end of the year. He's been on the practice squad, it seems like, for the past 3 years. So interesting ads, but those are at least what's going on right now for the roster and what's going on with that. Yeah, ciao, Dad. How you doing, guys? And I'm sorry, I was supposed to be on at 1 o'clock. And you tell me, I want to hear from you, Steeler Nation. Talk to me back. Would you prefer to have me at 1 o'clock right after the presser, or is this better having this in the evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock? Right back, just put down a number. Put down 1 for 1 o'clock, 6 for 6 o'clock, 7 for 7 o'clock. And if I'm adding the 6s and 7s together just to be like, yep, you guys want this in the evening. You don't want this in the morning or the afternoon right after the presser, because I know a lot of you guys work. You can't listen during the day. This is your vidcast. So I want to do what's best for you guys. You let me know. We'll make the decision tonight. Ciao, Dad. What do we got here, sir? Is Bush a lost cause this year? Every game seems to be worse. I did not think he was worse this game. I didn't. I really didn't. I thought he was a little bit better this game. It's tough to defend anybody in the league, especially a good pass catching running back, when the running back knows the route he's going to run and the quarterback is an accurate quarterback, knows the route he's going to throw. That's a difficult situation for anybody. He hung with him, Even though he's letting up catches, he's still making the tackles downfield, and that's the best you can do in that situation when you've got a running back running great routes and you got a super accurate quarterback. I'm not going to hang that on Bush. He was much better in the running game, but Mike Tomlin let out in his presser. He stated flatly, like, this guy just won the Ed Block Courage Award for, coming back from the injuries, and also alluded to the fact that he is playing through an injury. He's playing hurt this year. That just came out today. He's like, essentially stated that a lot of our players wouldn't be playing under this situation. He gives us the ability to be out there and play and give us valuable snaps on game day. Though personally, I'd rather have Spillane out there instead of him so he can work his way back, hopefully and healthier, because he's playing hurt. That is official now, Steeler Nation. That's why Bush has been sucking this year, been playing hurt. So now we have the answer officially. And that's it. You're right. Yep. Raider moved up to the 53. How will he fit in? He's third tight end. Love it. He's a blocking tight end. He's a good pass catcher, as I alluded earlier. You might have said it actually while I was talking about it, but he's a great blocker. Awesome on special teams. He's going to be rostered. He's going to have a hat on game day because he's a great special teams player. Big tackles on special teams. Expect to see that out of Raider. And you can never have enough good people on special teams that want to play special teams and play it hard. Raider's one of those guys. Michael Scott Joyner, welcome from Facebook. Sarah, is Tuitt going to play it all this year? I'll tell you one thing. In the press conferences, they stopped asking that question. They stopped asking Tomlin, what's up with Tuitt? Is he coming back? Is he playing? What's going on? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm starting to lean toward no. And I have been saying, though, for previous weeks, we're not going to know inklings of answers to this question until December, till right around the Ravens game after Thanksgiving. I've stated that for the past 2 months. That's when we're going to find out, is Tuitt coming back? We're going to find out in December because we're getting to the end of the season. I hope to hell he comes back. If not, like I said, Loudermilk's been talked up in the presser. He's playing good snaps. He's getting sacks out there. We might be saying Tuitt who if Loudermilk is developing into this player that it's looking like he's starting to. And he's developing a lot quicker than I thought he was going to. Wait, there's a reason why we moved up into another round and gave up a draft pick for this kid. Steelers are like, this guy is like hints of Haden, hints of Hayward, hints of Cam Hayward. That's high praise. Hayward was a first rounder. Excellent pick at the end of the first round. All pro. Guy's phenomenal. The guy tried to do it all by himself last game. Nearly got us a win all by himself. Excellent job, Hayward. You can't have enough of those guys on the team. And if Loudermilk is half the player Hayward is, he's as good as Tuitt. I don't care what the hell Clayton says. Clayton, screw you and your alien face. And I know you used to be a Pittsburgh local, but you to ever say Tuitt is better than Hayward, what the hell are you watching? There is no reality in all of the multiverse, in any game I've seen, in any game where Tuitt was a better player than Hayward. Might have a couple. That one where the first 2 games of the year before he got hurt, that 1 year, he was in the backfield making plays like every snap, and then bam, he's out for the year. Other than that, nobody's been better on this team on the defensive line. Hayward may be the best player to ever play for the defensive line. I meant to say defensive line, not you guys know. Including, this guy could have played on the steel curtain. This guy might have been the best player on the steel curtain, just size to speed rate ratio, but not taking away anything from Joe Green. Joe Green changed our franchise. We were a perennial loser till we added Joe Green and his mentality and toughness to this defensive line. But Hayward, man, the Hayward's starting to make me forget about Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith, who I thought was the best defensive player I've seen in my eras. Very underrated. Better than Kiesel. Big snack. Casey Hampton too, but he played, the interior. But, mad props. The Steelers just have great defensive players. Good problem to have. Chloe O'Neill, welcome from Facebook. Steelers Nation. We're Steeler Nation, but Steeler Nation, let's go. Steelers, there we go, Chloe. Yeah, Steeler Nation predates Steelers Nation by about 2 decades. They had to start that up because they wouldn't buy our trademark. There we go. Let's go, Kenny. How you doing, Kenny? Awesome. Great to see these numbers. Thanks. We got a vote for 6. We got to vote for 7. You guys are like in the late time 7. And Kenny, you get 2 counts for your vote because yours carries weight. You're always here on the vidcast, sir. Whether it's 1 o'clock, whether it's 7 o'clock, your vote carries count. So guys, vote. Put down 1 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock, the time you prefer on Tuesdays for us to have your vidcast. We're counting the tallies and we're making the decision tonight. Chow, I have to disagree. Bush gave up on plays while Cam raced past him trying to make plays. Cam's all world, man. Bush is playing hurt. Yeah, I see it. I see it too, but I'm not going to hang. I'm not ready to give up on Bush. You remember the year that we had with Boswell? Boswell missed 7 kicks for us the year after he was an All-Pro in 2017. 2018, he missed 7 kicks. 7. Any other team in the league would have dumped him. Absolutely dumped him. He was playing hurt all year. Affected his performance. What happens? The Steelers hung on to him. Steelers like, get rid of Boswell. He sucks. Can't make another kick. What's he done in the 3 years since? He's missed 1 kick. 1 field goal. Sorry, missed 1 field goal. 6 for 6 this year on 50-yarders. You keep the talent because the talent's there. He's an All-Pro. You keep those guys. Bush has the ability to be an All-Pro. Good thing is now he's not performing. If we have to put him on a 5th-year option, now we're getting some value. Might get some value. But if he's 100%, there's no question in my mind. He will be the best interior defensive linebacker on our team if he's 100%. Needs to be 100%. You can question the fact now on whether or not he should be playing while he's not 100%. I think Spillane's showing us more than him right now. But, you know, we're going to see the same problems in defending a running back out of the backfield that we see with Bush. I want to see him work back. I've got high hopes for Bush that he's going to come back healthy, and we need to get him healthy. Thank you, too. 7 o'clock for Chow Dad. Another vote. Looks like the vote slanted hard for the even. Thank you, Chow. But either way, I'm sneaking in out of work on the West Coast. Then we'll go as late as possible. I'll factor that in, Chow. You get 2 votes because you're always in on these podcasts and the vidcast as well. So you get the extra weight as well. So we'll call that too. Right now we got 5 votes for the evening and no votes for 1 o'clock. Sounds like we're going a hard turn for 7 p.m.s on Tuesdays, and I'm fine with that. I went 6 today. I wasn't sure. I tried to balance it out, but we're going to go 7. I think it'll probably lean to 7. You guys like the 7 o'clock. Yeah, I work during the day. Works better for me at night. Sold. Our big super fans, Kenny Beamer, Chow Dad. You guys carry a lot of weight. Thank you very much, too, for that. Matt Bonk, thank you, bud. Another vote for 7 o'clock. Looks like we're going to lock that in. And guys, I don't know what you saw out of the game, but there's one other guy I want to talk about with the game. Or 2 other guys I want to talk about. I want to talk about Cam Sutton. I know I kind of alluded to it a little bit. Cam Sutton played up. I mean, he played hard. That interception, I haven't seen us make a diving interception with that kind of athleticism since Troy Polamalu left our team in our backfield. That was an amazing play. Cam to Cam. Off of Cam's dome into the diving arms of Cam Sutton. Got his dome knocked off by the other player. Should have been a 15-yarder. Should have been a freaking targeting call. College football would have reviewed that. Guy went elbow to forehead. Elbow to forehead. That was a target. Tried to take Cam Sutton out. Piece of crap. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that one was helmet to helmet. The elbow to head was the Najee Harris one that wasn't freaking called, which caused a near concussion. A near concussion to our best player on offense. Absolutely atrocious that the officials missed both of those calls. Those are the only calls I'm really pissed off about them missing. Like, those are like no-brainers. Player safety. Number 1, player safety in the NFL. Bullshit. Number 1, player safety. Yeah, right. Player safety, Raj. Yeah, we see you. I love Cam Sutton. He's playing like a dog right now. Yeah, tackle for a loss. Led the team in tackles with 10. 7 solo. 3 assists. Guy was all over the field. Loved seeing him play. Loved seeing him. Yeah, gave it his all. You're right, Chow. And I'm with you too. Yeah, you guys can actually say it. See, I can't always say it completely. I got to cough through it. at times, but we have fun with it. The second guy I want to talk about, a guy that only had 20 snaps on defense. 20 snaps on defense. And I want to talk about G.Stryker. You want to talk about a guy that only 20 snaps on defense? Yes. Yes, I do. I want to talk about the guy they elevated specifically for this game, Mr. Karl Joseph. Karl Joseph coming into the game. 15 snaps, 20% of the snaps. He did play 8 special team snaps, so that bodes well on him sticking to the roster here. Might have to send somebody back, but can't send back Killebrew. Man! 2 blocked punts in his career. And in this season. 2 blocked punts in his season. 2 blocked punts, and not once has he touched a punter. He has 2 clean blocks on punters this year. You can't take Killebrew off a special team. I'm sorry. I keep a roster spot for that guy specifically to play special teams. So who's our fourth? Who's our fourth safety? Looking. Karl Joseph. Other safeties. They're the only ones that look like they played this game. At least Terrell Edmunds. Yeah, and Trey Norwood's kind of a hybrid player. I see him more of a slot than a safety. But they have been kind of using him as safety depth too, and in the slot, depending on situations. He started and played the whole game at free safety. 7th round draft pick, guys. Played 100% of the snaps. All the snaps. 20, the most snaps on the team on special teams, 24 on special team. He played 100 total snaps. Trey Norwood, 7th rounder. Give some props to him. Yeah, he messed up on that last play. That gave up a touchdown, an easy touchdown. Unfortunately, in the closing minutes of that game. You hate to see that, but that's a rookie mistake. Hopefully he's learning from it because he's got talent. We might have finally found a cornerback, secondary player, in the 7th round. I'll take it. But Karl Joseph is a guy, like I said, want to talk a little bit more about Karl Joseph. What did he do in his 15 snaps on defense? Got a pass defense. He knocked down that pass that would have been a first down conversion. I love seeing a safety being able to convert on the ball and stop it from being a catch as opposed to a conversion. What else did he do in that game, Karl Joseph? 2 tackles. 15 snaps. Now let's talk about the other safety that actually plays his position. 100% of the snaps. Terrell Edmunds. 4 total tackles. 3 solo, 1 assist. And he passes defense. Did you help out in the passing game? Edwards, you here? Edwards. No. What? Where is he? I don't know. Get him off the field. That's the guy that peeves me off, Steeler Nation. You guys are all over Bush. I'm all over Edmunds, man. I don't know how he's still on this team, to tell you the truth. Like, still on the field at least. Limited snaps. Had half as many tackles in 1/5 the amount of snaps. 2 to 4. Had a pass breakup in 1/5 the amount of snaps than the guy ahead of him. I've been saying it all year. It's time to put somebody in there at Edmunds' position because I'd rather have somebody in there making plays than somebody in there not making plays. So, chow, Dad. Defense needs to keep up with the fundamentals and assignments. Chargers baited the Steelers in the run game, quarterback runs, and in that last long TD. Well, that's what happens. This is what happens, chow, when you only have 5 of 11 players that were starters on your defense playing in that game. 5 of 11. That's it. Everybody else was a backup. And I include that because Wormley got banged up and he was getting rotated in and out. And they were putting in that no-name guy. I don't even know the guy's name. Let me look up on the snap chart. I might find it if I can go down on the snap chart. Finally see what Wormley had, unfortunately, when the other guy was banged up. Let's see. There's Wormley. Wormley got the majority. He got 75% of the snaps on the defensive line. But the other 25% of those snaps from the line, you got Henry Mondeau running in with that too. With 36% of the snaps along the line as well. And what was that guy? Delonte Scott. Delonte Scott was on the field. 7 snaps. He was on the field that last touchdown drive. That hurts. There's a reason why the only person making tackles down the field is when your secondary can't even make tackles down the field. Your secondary's downfield. Edmonds, where are you? Where are you, Edmonds? Who knows? Who knows where the hell Edmonds is? Sure as hell isn't making plays. He's not as bad as Mitchell. Mitchell was great his first 2 years. But after that, his last 2 years, I was calling him no play Mitchell. Couldn't get a pass defensed. Couldn't get an interception. Couldn't get a fumble or fumble recovery. I was calling him no play Mitchell. I hated that guy in his last 2 years more than I have problems with Edmonds as a player on a whole. Edmonds is just there. But now he's turning into no play Edmonds. Just like no play Mitchell. Yeah, and then I got issues with that. Yeah, but he's a good tackler. He is, Kenny. I agree with that. Bush, Edmonds, and Snell get some serious side. I love that. Chow. I don't know why Snell made the roster. I don't. I'm not the coach. I can't tell. I was a Jalen Samuels guy. I know Jalen Samuels is a better pass catcher than Snell. I know Jalen Samuels has run for 100. Well, then again, Snell has run for 100 yards in the league also. I can't be upset about that. Understanding that. But his role is supposed to be tote the rock inside the tackles. That's his job. Some reason we bring out Snell, we're like, let's throw him a pass. No, never, ever throw Snell a pass. Never. Either have him back to block or run him the rock. I rhymed unintentionally, and that's going on a t-shirt. Have him back to block or run him the rock. That's the opposite of rock to the nodge from Pittsburgh Dad, which is its own t-shirt. Snell is have him block or run the rock. Don't want to see him doing anything else other than that. That's it. That's absolutely it. Beamer. This is what happens when players get comfortable. Who's getting comfortable? You had 6 guys on defense that have never played before. You had a guard rotation. It's like, who the hell's going to be playing guard? Oh, we're going to throw a tackle in there for some reason. Haig is not a guard. I don't know why he's out there and not BJ Finney. BJ Finney was active. What the hell's going on? BJ Finney got snaps on special teams, but couldn't play. He used to be ahead of J.C. Hassenauer on the depth chart, being the first guard to come in as the swing guard. What happened to BJ Finney? Is he hurt? I don't know, man. He was hurt 2 weeks ago. Tomlin's trying to say he was fine last week. Doesn't look like he's fine if you got Haig taking snaps instead of him. If you have J.C. Hassenauer starting instead of him, that means that depth chart got flipped upside down for some reason. Maybe he's not 100%. That's the only thing I can think of. They act like we need them. Understood. Understood. Penny is garbage. I love emojis. I'm an old guy, and I'm like not one of the, hey, the emoticons. I got a semicolon and a right parenthesis for a smiley face or a winky face. That's pretty funny. But I love emojis. They do get to the essence of what we're trying to say in as few characters as possible. We started with ancient Egypt, and with the hieroglyphics, we're back full circle. We're back full circle. I think JC is hurt this week. Kenny, they were saying at least Tomlin felt optimistic that JC was going to be able to practice this week in some capacity. Still doesn't mean he's going to be back. Obviously, writing's on the wall. Something might be up with adding Coward to the practice squad. But BJ Finney should have been that guy. It's like, I don't have any words for it. I understand the game 2 weeks ago where everybody got injured on the line. And then you had to bring in Haig to play guard because we didn't have a healthy guard. We lost Turner. We lost Dotson in that game. So we had to throw him in because you had the backup guard, which I think was JC at the time. I think BJ was actually out that game. And then we had to throw Haig in there just because he was our only other lineman other than Banner. I think Banner was active that game too, but Banner can't play guard. He is strictly a right tackle. He's supposed to be a starting right tackle in this league. Right now, Chooks is our best offensive lineman. How do you take Chooks off the field? He's out there pancaking people on that Pat Fryermuth touchdown pass that I thought was a screen pass. I thought that was a screen. I'm like, whoa, look at those two receivers out ahead and their tight end out ahead of Pat Fryermuth for that touchdown. That was a great play design. I watched it again. The two people in front of him You got the right guard coming over doing a slobber knocker pancake on the front out. The second guy in hitting the guy on the goal line. That was our center. That's our athletic Kendrick Green getting downfield, knocking the other guy out, making sure Pat Fryermuth got a touchdown. And I thought it was a screen pass. Absolutely awesome. I like that. I like that play. And that gives me some hope for this offensive line. I mean, right now, we had a progression. The offensive line was playing together all season up until 3 weeks ago. Now they're starting to get banged up, and we're starting to go back to like, we don't know our roles anymore. We're trying to relearn who's playing with who. We're trying to get the structure. They screwed us. When they moved Bosa to the inside, he ate Haig up like a freaking hamburger. Absolutely annihilated Haig. And that sucked because that was a mismatch that they took advantage of on that last drive. 2 sacks, game over, put it in the books. We're done. Forking it. Done. That was it. That was the mismatch which they were able to exploit. And it sucks. It sucks that it happened late in the game. We had to put another guy in there. They realized Haig's not used to blocking in a phone booth. He's a tackle. He blocks on a street corner. He doesn't block in a phone booth. He doesn't have that technique yet. He's a good blocker. You put him on the street corner on the edge, he's a good blocker. In that phone booth, he gets confused. Who do I have? Where am I going? I'm used to going outside. Why is that guy coming around and looping on the inside? Holy crap, nobody's there to help me out. Why? Because my center is engaged on the other guy to the right. So that was supposed to be my guy. I screwed up. Bosa sack. That sucks. It's just the way it happens sometimes, unfortunately. And that's the mismatch. That's been our only real losses this year, guys. Big injuries in that Raiders game. We had 2 injuries going into it, 4 more within the game. Lost Alu for the season. Didn't have Haden in that game. Lost both outside linebackers in that game with groins. That was it. Forking them. We were done. We couldn't compete the next week against Cincy because we didn't have any of those guys working their way back yet. Not until the following week. And then what did we do? We stacked 4 wins and a non-loss tie. 5 non-losses in a row before now, loss. And then it happened right before playing the Cincinnati Bengals as well. And that's what sucks because this game is a must win. We're back. We're into the divisional games for the rest of the season. We've played 2 so far. We got 4 more. Cincinnati, Ravens, Browns. That's it. That's the season. And we got to find a win to win. If we win those 4 games, we win our division. That's it. That's why they are must-win games. We got to find a way to beat the Bengals, even if we're banged up. Good news is we're going to have Minkah back. I think it's because he was on a 10-day. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't think Minkah had the vaccine. Why, Stryker? Why don't you think Minkah had the vaccine? Because they ruled him out on Monday for a Sunday game, which was 7 days away. If you're vaccinated, you got a chance of taking 2 tests and being cleared. I think they let it slip. I think they screwed up. And what that means to me, Minkah will not be practicing tomorrow, which is Wednesday. He'll be returning on Thursday or Friday. And if he returns on Thursday or Friday, it meant he was on the 10-day unvaccinated list, and he had to work his way off of that. So now he's got COVID. That's why you got to be smart about this stuff, guys. In the NFL, it helps you out to have the vaccination. Why? Because Ben could work his way back in a week. That's why he only missed 1 game and not 2. That's why Haden missed 2 games last year because we didn't have the vaccine yet. And it happened the Saturday before we played the Browns the first time. So he missed playing his old Browns twice. And you can't tell me we wouldn't have won that playoff game unless he played. If he was in that game, we would have won it. We honestly would have won it. But unfortunately, there's a 10-day mandate rule. If you were positive for COVID, he had to go through it. Whether or not he was negative at the end of that, that's not the way the rules were written in 2020. The rules in 2021 still stand. If you're unvaccinated, you're still going on the 2020 rules. You're out for 10 days. You can't do crap for 10 days. But if you got the vaccine, 2 negative tests. That's all you need. 2 negative tests in a 48-hour period with no symptoms. You're back in playing. You can return back in 5 days. Ray might return. He could return. If he gets 2 negatives on Friday, Saturday, he's back in. He's back in Sunday. So we'll have to see. But that's at least the way I see it. about that. Kenny, you got some more questions here. Oh, yeah. No, you did say JC. Yeah, JC might be hurt. We'll have to see. But how about that block from Banner for Najee's touchdown? Was that Banner on the field as the extra tackle? I might have missed that. I absolutely might have missed that. You might have been up on me on that one, Kenny, because if that was Banner as tackle eligible, I don't know if Steeler Nation went ape crap because that looked like a home game. Tackle eligible number 72 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody loves Banner. Everybody loves Banner. And the guy can play. Let me see here. Banner did get a snap on offense. That might have been a snap. And if it was, that's awesome. Derek Watt got 2 snaps. Derek Watt needs a lot more snaps than 2. That drives me nuts, Steeler Nation. That guy needs to be on the field for 10 snaps, at least minimum. 10 snaps a game. That 10 snaps. Yep, it was Banner. Thanks, Kenny. That's awesome. Big friend of the show. He's been on the podcast 3 times, once each year. We love him on the podcast. I can't wait to see him because that's what he does. You put Banner on the field, he's going to kill the guy in front of him. That's what he does. He's a mean streak. And that is a year and a half of pent-up energy going into that one block. Guy can't wait to get back out on the field. I can't wait to see him back out on the field. Hopefully he'll work his way back, but that means Chuk's got to get hurt. Or Chuk's got to move to the other side. And Moore has to sit down. Dan Moore. And Dan Moore, he's developing well. Sure, he's making some mistakes, but he's developing well. I think he can be a starting left tackle in this league. I really do. Really do. Yep. Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, I'm with you too. I like Derek Watt. They're underutilizing him too. Mike Scott Joyner, thanks too, man. Yeah, I agree about Watt. You pay him, you might as well use him. I mean, it's not out, just so we know, Steeler Nation, it's not out of the realm of significance in the NFL. Your top special teams guy is making about $4 million a year. Remember Big Red, Matakevich? He's the top special teams guy over at Buffalo Bills. Makes the exact same amount of money as TJ Watt. And he only plays special teams. He doesn't get in on defensive snaps at all. But then again, Watt doesn't get in on offensive snaps. But the guy's athletic. The guy can make plays. The guy can catch balls down the field. You're missing tight ends. Work him in. He was a tight end, and an awesome tight end in high school. A little bit in college, but guy can play. The guy can play football. You put football players on the field just to make plays, man. I don't care if he's out there as a decoy. He was definitely in on that touchdown where Najee's jumping over the top. I saw him on that one. So I don't know what his other snap was, but damn it. Get DJ, or sorry, get I was like his brothers. He needs a J after his. These guys can't have names. They need initials. JJ, TJ, DJ. The Watt brothers. They don't have names. They have acronyms. These kids love it. Love the acronyms. But yeah, Derek, who's actually named. What's his full name? Does anybody know Derek Watt's middle name? Now I'm going to look it up. I gotta know Derek Watt's middle name just strictly for this, for poops and ha-has. Derek Watt, full name. Derek John Watt, DJ Watt. Oh, mind blown. DJ Watt. I was right without knowing it. JJ, TJ, DJ. Give it to the Watt brothers, man. That's why he's not a starter. He doesn't have an acronym. Sure, he's special teams captain, but start calling him DJ. He might get in on fullback. We might see him toting the rock. We might see him catching passes. DJ Watt. That's it. I'm only going to refer to him as DJ Watt now. Now that might, so hopefully that gives him good juju, JJ, for the Watt. I honestly, in the offseason, I was like, find a way to trade to it for Watt, just to have all the Watt brothers together. I didn't know that Tuitt was hurt. Trade would have been knocked off at the beginning of the season because of that initially. Jeez. Tuitt, man. Stephon. I love you, brother, but man, I want to love you and I want to root for you completely. And it's just difficult to not be able to root for a guy that's just not on the field. And guys, what do we see about the upcoming matchup that we know is a must win? going up against Joe Exotic with his Bengal Tigers coming into town. Oh, no, we got to go to their town. We're going to the jungle. Oh, we're going to the jungle. Joe Exotic's jungle with all his tigers. Oh, Joe Exotic. I love that show. Thank goodness for Joe Exotic for getting me through the first month of COVID with those memes. I was on a Joe Exotic meme site on Facebook for a bit until they just got old after a while. But man, a lot of comedy over there for that. I guess they're making a movie about it now that should be pretty entertaining. But man, he's got a lot of good receivers. Chase, the rookie, doing a great job. Mixon, we know, can tote the rock. Good player. Good receiver. They've always had good receivers. It seems like Cincinnati has always had good wide receivers, whether it's Hushmanzada, whether it's Ocho Cinco. It doesn't matter who it is. What's the guy that just left that was like my favorite receiver of all time? The other big, tall receiver. Why am I blanking on him? Guy after Ocho Cinco. Man, he was on the team for a decade, Striker. Why don't you remember these things? But you guys can probably help me out with that one. But, I mean, they always have a good receiver with good hands that's got the ability to go out there and make plays, and they still have that. They still have good possession receivers, good deep threat receivers, good intermediate receivers, can make plays at all the levels. The tight end usually doesn't kill us, but they usually have good tight ends as well. But we know Mixon can do it. Mixon's a great pass catcher out of the backfield, and the way Ermigerd hurt us out of the backfield last week, Ermigerd. I mean, we got to say, AJ Green. Thank you, Matt Scott Joyner. Sorry one. Sorry. Yeah. AJ. Thank you. Matt Bunk and Matt Scott Joyner. You both had on me for that one. Yeah. Yeah. We got to get pressure. You're right. We get TJ Watt back. We're going to get pressure, but let's give some props where it's due to Highsmith. Sack and a half, putting on his big boy pants. Those sacks came a little later in the game too, back when we needed them. At that point of the game, Taco in on a half sack as well. Taco Tuesdays for everybody. Honestly, anytime Taco gets a sack, it should be Taco Tuesday. Free tacos in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. Anytime Taco gets a sack. Come on, guys. Come on, Pittsburgh. Local taco delis, taco trucks, Taco Tuesday. Taco gets a sack, Taco Tuesday. Writes itself. This is great. I'm a marketing guy. Writes itself. Yeah, but we'll have, but you have Watt playing with AJ Green. That's even better. That's even better. I mean, but I'm still going to give, sorry, not AJ Green, with Alex Highsmith. AJ Green. Yeah, with Alex Highsmith, the wrong A. And that's the way my brain works. I get caught in certain categories and just can't get off it until I realize my own mistakes. Thank you for bearing with me and my mistakes. Type it in there if you see me make a mistake. Call me on it. When I used to have, Hunter Homestek used to be my partner in crime on the podcast last year, if you guys remembered. He was always catching me make misspell. I was like, I got to buy you a taboo buzzer just so he can buzz me every time I misspoke and say the wrong player's name or the wrong position at the wrong time, because my brain gets jumbled. It works incredibly fast, and so does my mouth. And sometimes my mouth just talks a little faster than my brain. But that's the way it goes. And then defensively, we obviously know we gotta we gotta step it up and find a way to fix these holes on this offensive line, because that guard spot without Big Dot in the middle going to injured reserve. We know he's gone for at least 2 more games. Smart move. Throwing him on injured reserve the day before the game, because the way the rules are written for injured reserve, it's not 3 weeks. It's not 21 days. You have to miss 3 games. That's rules as written. So he can be back, as opposed to being 21 days. He can be back in 16 games. 16 days. Misspoke again. 16 days. So that's a lot less than 21, because we did on a Saturday. He can come back the Monday after our game next week. So we get a chance of having him back early, though he has a high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains are a bear to recover from. I was a pre-physical therapist, diagnosed a lot of injuries back when I was taking my pre-med classes as a doctor, worked in the sports club department at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, the Honors University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and got to see my fair share of reviews of injuries. High ankle sprains are 4 to 8 weeks, unfortunately. They're a bear. And when you're a big guy, you're putting a lot more weight on that ankle. It's a lot tougher to come back from. So it might be the 6 to 8 week area, at least for being able to come back too for that. Chow, Dad. Tomlin was fired up about the upcoming Bengals game. That's it. I'm glad you watched the presser too, Chow, because a lot of the time, Steeler Nation, a lot of you guys don't like Tomlin as a coach, and I get that. I get your reasons for not liking Tomlin as a coach. If you don't like Tomlin, I like him as a coach. I don't have any huge problems with him outside of what the problems you'd have for any coach being on any team, other than he wins a majority of the games and he loses. But he got me fired up too. I was feeling down. Going into that press conference, and then he got excited. Like, you saw him with passion talking about, like, we're coming to this game. We know this is a game we have to take care of. We're getting back into divisional games. And, like, he was getting me pumped. I was ready to run through a wall, and I'm just listening for my podcast. It's like he picked me up, like, getting that guy in a room. You don't think, like, Cowher was, like, an ultimate rah-rah guy, too. He'd find ways. I just read Cowher's book. Phenomenal read, guys. It's an easy read. It's like 300 pages. They're big type. And it is Heart and Steel, Bill Cowher book. And he also talked about trying to find a reason every week to give the team motivation to want to fight. Like, especially like bulletin board material was huge with Cowher. That was huge. Don't give the other team bulletin board material. We'll make our own bulletin board material. But Tomlin's just like, he got me fired, not even with bulletin board material, just talking about having to take business in a game that you need to win. If you want to go out there, if you want to make the postseason, you got to win this game. If you think you're the best in this division, you got to win this game. If you want to win this division, you've got to win this game. That's why this game is a must-win game. We're 1 win behind 2 teams. We're 2 wins behind Ravens, who get lucky every freaking week. Holy crap. Even with their backup quarterback, find a way to drive the entire way down the field and win against freaking Chicago. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts how they can figure out a way just to win every week. And they're doing it on offense, guys. They're doing it on offense. I don't have an answer for it. Let's talk about Detroit a little bit, though. Steelers tied them. Sucks. We tied them. Ravens had to make an NFL record kick just to beat Detroit. They had to break the NFL record for longest kick in the NFL ever just to beat Detroit. Otherwise, Detroit would have been 1-win Detroit coming into Pittsburgh last week. Would have been a different team. I think they're good. This is not an 0 for Detroit team that we're used to seeing. This team is way better than that. This team is going to win some games. I think they might win 2 or 3 this year. Almost beat Cleveland this past week. Should have beaten Cleveland this past week. And now what's going on in Cleveland? Baker's crying. Now Baker's crying. Ah, you guys got to want to play to win. I'm Baker. You got to want to play to win. Play to win. Who's with me? Ah, I'm Baker. Sign him. Lock him up to a multi-year contract, please. $30 million a season. Sign him. I want to see that guy every game for the next 3 to 5 years. Guy doesn't have it. He's missing this. Right here, Steeler Nation. He's missing that. He's missing heart. Baker wants to play. He's a competitor, but I don't think he has heart. I think he's heartless. And now he's gutless for throwing his team under the bus on a game they won. On a game they won. He's upset about the way they play. He didn't have a great game. And you're trying to throw the rest of your team under your bus on a game you won? You know how tough it is to win in the NFL? You know how tough it is to beat Detroit in the NFL? In our division so far, it's been really freaking tough. It's been really freaking tough. We couldn't do it. At least we didn't lose to them. We still couldn't beat them, though. But I just love, since Cleveland, they just find a way to melt down every year. And the meltdown always starts, Steeler Nation, the week we beat them when they think they're the best in the league. When we smack them back down because they're our little brother. No! Yeah, you pot-shotted me once. You pot-shotted me once in the playoff game, little brother. But you're not the best in this division. You're not the best in this area. No. Down. Bad boy. Bad dog. Bad dog pound. Bad. Get back down to where you are. Freaking Browns, man. That's what we get. That's what we get for being Browns, having Browns fans. Screw them. But Steelers are the big brother in that division, guys. And what happens when we knock them out? OBJ, I don't want to play here anymore. My dad put out a video. I'm open a lot. Baker can't find me open. I think that's what OBJ sounds like. I don't listen to his press conferences. I'm open. I gotta go play for the Rams, and I'll be open. I don't know if his dad's putting out film there for Stafford. OBJ was open. Look up my films. He was open. Well, Steelers, we tried to get him too. We tried to get OBJ. I know, at least in the draft process, like Tomlin was all over OBJ in that draft. Tomlin was a wide receiver in college. If you're a wide receiver, you understand elite athleticism with excellent hands. And that's what he was. That's that type of player he was. Like I thought the same thing about Keenan Allen. And he went in the 3rd round. That guy. Loved Austin Tate, too, who ended up going like a 7th round to the Bengals. Bengals have like 7 rostered wide receivers. They have the most rostered wide receivers I've ever seen. Ever. I got to look this up now. Cincinnati Bengals roster. And it's because they don't have any running backs. They literally have like 2 running backs on the roster. And I don't know how teams do that. I don't know how teams like us can get the 2 wrong running backs on the roster. We have like 5 running backs on the roster, and 1 we don't use in Derek Watt, and 2 we shouldn't have had on the roster. Maybe Balaj and Snell shouldn't be there for McFarland and Samuels. Don't know. That's who we got. But we're checking out the roster here. Positions, wide receivers. 1, you got Mike Thomas, Auden Tate, who I love, Stanley Morgan, Erwin Trenton, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. That's 7 rostered wide receivers. We've had as many as 6 since I've been tracking receivers on our team. We've had 5 these last 2 years. So that's an interesting statistic. They've only got 2 tight ends. They don't have 3 tight ends. And then what do they have? Running back, they've got 3 running backs. Check, they have a fullback. Nope, don't have a fullback. Just 3 halfbacks. Perrine, Mixon, Evans. Those are your 3 halfbacks. So that's not a whole lot of players. A lot of players devoted to wide receiver, and I guess that speaks to the caliber of the quarterback that they have. Quarterback can distribute that ball down the field to those wide receivers and do it well. So, Steeler Nation, thank you again for this excellent Steeler Nation vidcast, powered by Big Play Network, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. And quickly, go over to Total Sports Enterprises on their on their Twitter at Total Sports ENT. We are giving away a free signed DJ jersey, Deontay Johnson Color Rush jersey. Jump over there right now, Total Sports Enterprises at Total Sports ENT on their Twitter. All you got to do is follow at Total Sports Enterprises ENT, follow the podcast at _SN Podcast, and follow the Steeler Nation Twitter at Steeler Nation, and just retweet it. 3 follows and a retweet, and you're automatically entered to win tomorrow. It's getting picked. So good luck, Steeler Nation. Guys, jump over there right now at Total Sports ENT, because they are a great resource for us and an awesome sponsor, because we're always getting great signed merch for them every week. And Wednesday is always the big day for the giveaways. So good luck to you, Steeler Nation. We want you to win some good gifts here for the end of this, before holiday season pops up here. And that's all the time we got on the Steeler Nation vidcast. Like I said, powered by Big Play Network, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. Follow me on YouTube, Twitter. Sorry, not on YouTube. Twitter, Instagram, Colorcast at @SN_Striker, spelled with a Y. And I will see you this week. We got the podcast coming out on DKPittsburghSports.com. And that will come out on Friday, 5 o'clock for the podcast, 6 o'clock for the premiere of the video on YouTube. We are interviewing Rachel Bradshaw from the Bradshaw Bunch. We got Rachel on the show. Awesome interview. It's already in the books. So you guys will get to enjoy that one. and see that great interview by Rachel Bradshaw, the Bradshaw Bunch. She's got a lot of great things to say about Pittsburgh and her dad herself, and stuff that she does on the show. So she's a really interesting person. So watch that interview and the podcast coming up on Friday over at DK Pittsburgh Sports. I'm your host, G.Stryker, though, for the Steeler Nation Vidcast, rooting along with you. As always, go Steelers!